Well, a little bit farther along, this week, by the time we get to the press conference than we usually are with today being election day, took today off so that, the student athletes, and we came in, an hour later this morning so that the coaches could catch the polls as they open so that everybody could participate and, do our civic duty and be a part of the general election. So, had practice yesterday, very energetic practice coming off of a solid Sunday practice. I thought the kids practiced very, very well. A lot of energy, a lot of enthusiasm, really good physicality. So it was a really good Tuesday practice on a Monday. It gets us a touch ahead of schedule by the time we get to Wednesday because it gives us all day today to really look at that practice yesterday and also to continue looking at the Tulane stuff and all of our breakdowns and situations there. So it made for a tough, weekend. Fortunately, we played on Friday night, so you had a little bit of time to catch up Saturday after you recovered from the flight, to look at that game and then really get a lot of preparation done for Tulane on Sunday because you had to get ready for Monday's practice, which there's a lot that goes into that. So, good start to the week. Excited about the matchup this weekend. Know Coach Fritz very, very well. Have a tremendous amount of respect for him. He and I have similar kind of paths to our current positions. We've met along the way when I was at the Citadel and just, I know the traits of his teams and the way he runs his program. And he believes in a lot of the same things I do. His team is going to be, hard-nosed, tough bunch. They're going to play with physicality. They're going to have some discipline. They are very, very good on special teams. A very good ball team. He's done a great job there at Tulane. It's going to be an exciting matchup for us this Saturday. So our kids they're going to be excited to go. They're ready to get back out on the field after last Friday night and continue, building and improving, which they've done solidly for the last month.
Okay, we'll open up the questions for Coach Houston at this time.
Coach, everybody knows what happened Friday. How have the guys bounced back and responded these last few days of practice?
I mean, I think they've responded as good as I could ask them to. Are they pissed off about Friday night? Yes, we all are. And it is what it is. There's nothing we can do about it. That's it. You're mad about it. It's not right. It should have been a different turnout. They earned the right to win Friday night. It's what I preach, is you earn the right to win. You finish the game. They did that. And even in spite of the circumstances, they continued to battle and respond. They never hung their head. They give us a shot on the last play of the game. And they have continued on just like that. And I continue to be impressed with the guys that we have on the field and continue to be just so encouraged with the way they respond. And, we had a good practice Sunday, and I thought we had just a fantastic practice yesterday afternoon. And I don't have to say anything to the kids. They know, they have embraced the way we do. And you show up every day and you're going to compete and you're going to work. And it's the results are what the fans are seeing on the field on game day, but I get the pleasure of seeing it every single day. If you want to get on that field and you want to represent East Carolina University, the path. You got to get out there and you got to compete and you got to perform and you got to align yourself with your teammates. And it's just so enjoyable to watch on a daily basis. And so very pleased the way they responded here early in the week. And that's why I feel confident going into this weekend that they're going to continue to practice that way throughout the week because they believe in their preparation and how it results in improved play on game day. And they know that they're playing very, very well right now.
Kind of going on, Coach, it might seem drastic maybe, but if you internally in the building with the players say, hey, you won the game, or if you told them just ignore the win-loss part of it, just psychologically, how have you handled that maybe, or have you not said anything at all about did you win or lose?
They got screwed. That's what I told them. And I wished I could change it, but you can't change it. You can't go back. Everybody wishes they could go back. I'm sure the officials wish they could go back. But you can't. and it's, hey, life is not fair. That's it. And it's how you respond to adversity. And that's why I've really, I've tried to, I talked to them Saturday just briefly on a Zoom chat, just because I wanted to connect with them, just to, because I was hurting for them, because I see how much they're putting into this every single day. But then we talked on Sunday just that, you can't let one loss beat you twice. And so you got to move on from it, and get ready for Tulane, because Tulane is a very, very good football team. And, we've got to play our best this Saturday to have a shot. And so, you acknowledge it because you can't ignore it. The American Conference, they made their statement, acknowledging what happened. And now we've got to, put that behind us and move on to Tulane as a group.
Coach, did you get any more explanation other than the public statement from the conference? Because the second review seemed to be more blatant than the first in terms of inaccuracy.
I've had significant dialogue with the conference office, and I would just leave it at that.
Coach, can you say whether any of those officials will be disciplined that were involved in that?
I think that would be an appropriate question for the conference office.
Coach, Jake, he's had a few kicks blocked lately. Is it more up front? Is he kicking it low? What have you seen on the film review?
The one a few games back against Navy, trajectory was a little bit low on that one, and I say that I'm not going to sit here and be critical of Jake, because we are fortunate to have a great place kicker. I'm saying what he knows and what he and I talk about. We did get a little bit of penetration in that one Friday night. It's one of those things where it's a tough deal when they're overloading you there at the guard position. But we got to do a better job in protection. And Jake is a talented enough kicker where he knows and he critiques himself. He and John work great together. That there's certain things they can do to get the ball up a little bit quicker. So I wouldn't be critical of Jake as much as I would say he's making some adjustments in those situations where it's a close range kick, to perform at a higher level. And that's, when you have a guy that has the abilities that Jake has, it's really refreshing, because he holds himself to a high standard, and he wants to be perfect. And so anything he can do to improve our opportunities and our chances, he's going to do those things.
Coach,
Mike, you come into this week's game with a little bit more determination and increased confidence after the way things have gone the last couple of weeks. Talk about what that does for your ball club entering this game against Tulane.
Well, I think, like I said in my kind of opening statement there, or my first answer is just, the players have seen drastic improvement in their play week in and week out. And you can directly attribute it to improved performance in practice, improved preparation. Offensively, the last couple of walkthroughs that we had on Friday on Thursday and Friday of last week, you have, 0 MAs. So you have no mistakes in, hour-long walkthroughs. And that tells you that the players are dialed in, that they're really focused. And so, and the result is, you have these heavy work days of Tuesday and Wednesday and Thursday, or last week, obviously Monday, Tuesday and Wednesday. And then you have those dialed in walkthroughs, and it results in playing at a very high level on the field. So I think that when you talk about, determination, listen, there's determination in the players that's been there since the beginning of fall camp. And there's been significant improvement every single week since the beginning of fall camp. It's just, they have tremendous belief in the preparation, because they're seeing themselves play better and better on the field each week.
Coach, Tulane was in position to beat Southern Miss earlier this year, and then they had a very decisive victory this past week. What can you tell from looking at them? Are they doing different or doing better at this point?
Well, I think that, you look at them defensively, veteran plays very well together. Like I mentioned the traits before, they're going to be a physical bunch. They're going to play hard. They're going to play with discipline. They're going to compete. You look at them on special teams; those same traits are there on special teams. They have a dynamic returner. Offensively, they strong running game. And I think the one thing that's developed since the beginning of the season is, early in the season, you had a quarterback competition going on. And, Michael Pratt, the freshman, has won that competition now. And so now you've seen him grow as a starter and play better and better each week. So now you see him play very well against Temple. He's a guy that can beat you with his legs. He's an average runner. He has really good size, throws the deep ball very, very well, and has improved as a passer each week. So I think you're seeing improved play there at the quarterback position, which, helps because, they're very good at the skill positions at the wide receiver position. They did lose one of their running backs early in the year, but they've got, three, I think, very strong running backs. So it's just a very solid team.
And Coach, you've played your best games, it seems like, at night this season. Is there any explanation for that, or is it related to starting time at all?
Well, I think we played pretty well against Navy as well. And so I think it's more related to the past month. I think you saw, beginning of the year with no spring practice and no summer and a new defensive scheme and a mostly new defensive staff. You saw some struggles, but you've seen as the season has gone on, particularly in the last month, we've played better and better every single week. Two of those games happen to be at night, and I'm very, very pleased with the way our players prepared for those games because I thought they handled night kickoffs very well. That sometimes can be a struggle, but I think we've handled it very, very well. But I thought we played very well against Navy as well. So looking forward to the 12 o'clock kickoff this Saturday.
Mike, when you look at this team coming up with Tulane, what's the thing you better do if you're going to be successful against them?
Well, I think you'd better continue to play very well together and better continue to do the things that good football teams do. What I mean by that is we got to continue to strive to be the most physical team on the field. We've got to continue to strive to play with tremendous energy, which you're seeing every game. You see it at practice. We've got to continue to do a great job with ball security, and we've got to try to force turnovers and extra possessions defensively. We've got to execute at a very high level, minimal MAs, minimal busts, making our opponents work to defend us and make them work to get anything going offensively. And then I think we've got to be strong on special teams. And that sounds very cliche-ish, if I can get that word out. But the thing is, you're playing a team that does all those things. They're a good football team. You see teams that have great players, and certainly Tulane has great players, but they play together very, very well. And so I think you're going to see two teams go at it this Saturday that have all those traits. So it should be a great ball game.
With Warren Saba and Dorso each had an interception last game, and they seem to really be solid and kind of emerging. Can you just talk about how they've emerged there, and then kind of tied to that Tank Robinson's status at all? I know he wasn't on the depth chart this week, and kind of what's out there just, with that position as a whole.
Right. Well, I mean, I think, Warren, there's a guy that, changed positions in the off season and has worked extremely hard to develop himself. And is playing as good as he's played since I've been here, and playing at a high level. And just, I could not be more proud of him on multiple levels. I think as a player on the field, I'm very proud of him at just, his attitude and work ethic and determination. I'm very proud of because, those are the success stories that you enjoy in coaching. Nothing was given to him. He had to work his butt off to earn playing time by the way he practiced. And he did that from day one of fall camp. And it wasn't easy. There were times when he would be, second or third, a certain week. But he's worked his way up. And then when he's gotten his opportunity, he's backed it up by the way he's played on game day. Same thing with Sean. He came in as a backup, and he worked and earned his way onto the field and playing time. And then he's backed that up with his play. That's the culture that I want. That's the culture that we've created, and that's the culture that will be here. And it's one of those deals where how does Elijah Morris go from a freshman walk-on to our starting nose guard? Well, that's how he does it. He shows up every day and works. He shows up every day and practices hard. He shows up every day and competes. He shows up every day and he earns the respect of his teammates and his coaches. And he does it by, performing in practice. And he backs it up with the way he plays on game day. And you can go and you can list Nolan Johnson, Miles Berry, Fernando Fry, any of those guys that maybe, at times maybe didn't play as much last year, that now all of a sudden, those guys that are significant starters, playing a ton, performing on game day, and they earn it by their performance during practice. So really excited for those two guys. And, I think they will continue to improve because they continue to go out and work that way every day at practice. In regards to Tank, certainly I appreciate everything that Tank has done, for the program since he's been here. He made a decision to move on. Wish him nothing but the best.
Coach, we kind of take Tyler Snead for granted. When you just cut on the tape and see what he did Friday night, how valuable is he to this program, to this offense?
All those things I was just talking about, that's Tyler Snead. I was sitting at practice yesterday, and we're early in practice. It's a pat and go period where the receivers get loose and their quarterbacks get loose and they're working on routes. We talk a lot about practice habits. And we had a freshman receiver, and he catches a route, and he kind of turns and kind of trots up the field. And so I'm coaching him, and I'm saying, no, that's we want to catch it, sharp burst and really accelerate out of that catch and get north right now. And as I'm talking to him, Tyler's the next guy up in line, and I just made the comment. I said, you want to know what positive practice habits are? I said, you watch 22 every single snap. He is a competitor. When he's out there going against our defense in pass scale or one-on-ones, he is trying to win every single rep. It doesn't matter if it's, we did a perimeter drill where it's, the receivers are blocking for the bubble screens and stuff like that. And if he's blocking, he's going to try to flat back you, even at his size. And now he's going to probably tell you about it after he does it quietly under his breath because nobody can tell, and which gets under the defensive kid's skins. But, that kid competes every single day in everything he does. And he thinks he is the best player on the field, and he plays with a chip on his shoulder. And because of that, you see him go out, this past Friday night and have the game that he had, which is no surprise to any of us.
Coach, I'm sorry to bring this up again, but the catch that was ruled a catch, the ball appeared to hit the ground Friday night. In your conversations with the league, did you get a satisfactory explanation as to why that call was not overturned?
I did discuss that call with the league office.
Did they give you an explanation that satisfied your question of that call?
They gave me an explanation.
Was the explanation that they interpreted it to be a catch?
I've answered all I need to answer on that one.
All right, well, I apologize.
You're fine, thanks.
Okay, are there any other questions for Coach Houston this afternoon? Okay, Coach, thank you for your time.
Thanks a lot, guys. We're excited about this weekend. Go Pirates.